This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. A warning to our listeners and viewers, we're about to discuss graphic details of police violence. The family of Sonya Massey is demanding justice after the unarmed 36-year-old black woman was shot dead in her own home in Illinois when she called 911 for help. Police initially claimed she died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, but police body cam footage has just been released and has proved that all to be a lie. Former Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson, who's white, has been fired and charged with first-degree murder for fatally shooting Sonya Massey. Grayson did not activate his body cam until after he killed her. But the other officer's body camera was activated when they arrived at her house. It shows the two men speaking with Sonya before one notes her stove is on and says, "We don't need a fire while we're here." When Massey goes to turn off the stove, where a pot of water is boiling, a deputy tells her to step away from your hot, steaming water. Massey can be heard saying, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," and Grayson takes his gun out and responds, quote, "You better effing not, or I swear to God I'll effing shoot you in the effing face." As Sonya Massey appears to duck and twice says, "I'm sorry," the video shows Grayson moving toward her and fire 3 shots, ultimately shooting her in the face. This is a clip of the exchange leading up to the shooting.
What is your last name? Shouldn't have to think about your last name. Okay. You're not in trouble. I just need to
Massey.
Huh?
Massey.
Yeah. You have an ID? That'd make things so much easier. I just need just a driver's license will do, and I'll get out of your hair.
I want to show y'all my paperwork.
I will get your paperwork.
What paperwork?
Okay. I got some paperwork.
Well, just get your ID real quick.
Well, let's get your ID first, and then...
One task at a time here.
Okay. Let me
Here, grab your ID for me.
Okay.
Your ID. One task at a time. So let's do an ID, and then you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID is.
You just in that stack right there, maybe?
Okay. 1 second.
Just check on her.
Let me leave this.
No, we don't need a fire while we're here.
Right. Okay. Let me see. Okay.
All right.
Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I would rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
I
Rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
No, I swear to God, I'll shoot you right in your face.
So after that, Sean Grayson shoots Sonya Massey. Body cam footage later records him telling his partner not to render aid to her. Records show Grayson has worked 6 different law enforcement agencies in Illinois since 2020. All of this comes as Massey's family says police first tried to cover up her killing. The Guardian newspaper obtained audio of a call from the scene in which a deputy told a dispatcher Massey's wound was self-inflicted. The family said it was also given misleading information given by police that she was shot by a neighbor. This is Massey's father, James Wilburn, at a news conference.
I was under the impression that a prowler had broke in and killed my baby. Never did they say there was a deputy-involved shooting until my brother read it on the internet. And he shared with me, he said, "Brother, what was Sonya's address?" I told him, and he said to me, "This says this is a deputy-involved shooting." I said, "Deputy-involved shooting? What are you talking about?"
Sonya Massey was the mother of 2, a 15-year-old daughter and a 17-year-old son. Her killing by police has prompted protests, and both President Biden and Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris issued statements saying Massey's family deserves justice. Vice President Harris said, quote, "Sonya Massey deserved to be safe. Doug and I send strength and prayers to Sonya's family and friends. We join them in grieving her senseless death," unquote. Harris also called for Congress to pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. For more, we're joined by Ben Crump, civil rights attorney representing the family of Sonya Massey. Can you explain exactly what took place? You've been out there, Ben. You're representing the family at this point. And talk about the cover-up as well.
Well, obviously, it's a tragic beyond proportions, Amy. This is the worst police shooting video that I've seen. I mean, it is so senseless. And the video is disturbing, but the audio is equally disturbing. When you look at that video and you see him move around the counter, even though he's trying to allege the reason he shot her was because he feared that she was going to throw hot water in his face from the pot, the very pot that he sent her to get. And then he moves around the counter, I think from an objective observation, looks like to get a better shot. And then he has no remorse whatsoever. When his partner says, I'm going to go get my CPR kit, he says, nah, it's a headshot. Don't worry about that. It's not going to make a difference. She's gone. And then at one point in the video, he says, just let her effing, and he doesn't finish his statement, but a logical comparison can conclude, he's saying just let her die. And so it's troubling on every level. She needed a helping hand, Amy. She did not need a bullet to the face.
And Ben Crump, equally disturbing is the fact that the authorities at first even withheld the actual information of what happened here. Could you talk about that and how you were able to uncover what really occurred?
Well, the family said when they initially got to her home, they kept asking what happened, who did this, and they asked questions saying, well, did she have a history with the neighbor? We're trying to find out. You know, is what the family say they told them. It's under investigation. Never told them that it was a police-involved shooting. In fact, one of the relatives said that a nurse at the hospital was saying, they said this was self-inflicted. We saw some radio scanner back and forth where they talked about whether it was self-inflicted or not. So we don't know what the narrative was initially, but we've asked for a thorough investigation of that as well. What led up to the killing itself, and then the aftermath of the killing with the sheriff's department, because we don't believe Deputy Grayson should have never been hired in the first place. He was convicted of 2 DUIs. We understand that he was discharged from the Army, and he had 6 jobs in 4-year span, different law enforcement agencies. We have reason to believe that he may have been terminated from some of those law enforcement agency jobs. And so the question is, why did he even have a job as a sheriff's deputy? The judge said at the bond hearing, after watching the video that was released yesterday, that he believed Officer Grayson was a threat to public safety.